and welcome to Getting Candid with me, your girl Hellen. Remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so that you don't miss out on anything that we upload on this channel. You're joining me from the Outback Cafe in Woodlands. My guest today is a superstar. Yes, he gave himself that title and I think he deserves it. He's one artist that has represented Zambia in so many countries, in African continent and outside the continent. I'm talking about Roberto. He recently got signed under a new label where Diamond Platnumz is also signed. You'll get more details about that on the other side. Alrighty, so I mentioned that I'll be chatting with the superstar Roberto. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. That's like the shortest intro ever. I was just getting ready to go through this.
Settle down.
Yes. Hey, this is Roberto. He's been a good friend for like 10, 15 years. Then
but I had that long intro earlier then.
Damn it, but it's okay. How are you doing?
You love yourself. I'm good, how are you?
I'm good.
Congratulations on your new signing.
Thank you very much.
Ziki Media, right?
Yeah.
Just tell us about that. That's like Diamond Platnumz signed under that media. Tell us about how did they pick you?
It's been an ongoing thing, to be honest with you. It's something that we've been going back and forth, just trying to get to certain terms that we're also comfortable with. I believe this entire period we've been able to do so much by ourselves. Yeah. But when you have people who come forward and say, okay, listen, we know you can do this and we want you on board, I feel like it's very important for us to try and understand where the brand needs to go. Because any signing that you involve yourself in should be something that helps propel your career, like it should take it forward. So for me, I felt, okay, it's great to be the person I am and where I am, but I feel it's also important to let other people show you a certain direction that you can actually go, and they have the capacity to change certain dynamics in my career. So yeah, let's do it. Okay. But yeah, Ziki Media has been around for a while, and they have an interesting catalog of artists from West Africa, Southern Africa.
So it's a continental?
Yeah, it's a continental thing. They even have artists that they manage as far as India.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like a global company. But of course, they have the majority of artists on the African continent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So we expect to see greater things from Roberto, right?
Well, greater things were worked on already. These guys have come on to now just really help us shape the direction, or at least give us a direction on what we want to do, how we want to do it, and really just maximize our presence in other regions where perhaps we were slacking, that sort of thing. So it's good to have people who already have been doing this. They understand the industry as well, and they want to see us grow. So yeah, it's a great thing.
Okay, nice. Well, you're one artist that has, I think, has brought pride to Zambia. You've won awards outside. You filled a stadium outside Zambia. That doesn't even happen here. Like one artist fills up a stadium, local artist. We don't really see that. Yes, we had All Out for Hip Hop.
Yeah, I think that was a great initiative.
That was something that we would love to see more. But do you feel, I want your honest answer on this one, do you feel you are loved in your country the way you're supposed to?
Yes, I am.
Do you think you get the support that you're supposed to?
I do, actually. And I feel like that's the misconception that is there.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, no, but back home you're not loved. Have you seen what happens when you go to Solwezi? Have you seen what happens when you go to Kitwe? Have you seen what happens when you go to Chipata, for example? The love and support locally is amazing. Don't be deceived just because we see each other at the shopping mall and you feel like, should I go and watch this guy? Yeah. So at times you need to understand how people look at certain public figures. There's a certain level of excitement when you see someone you have not seen in a while. It's like receiving someone who's been gone for studies for the past 5 years and they come back. You are filled with joy because you're happy to see this person. They could be a relative. And it's different from seeing a brother of yours who just went to town to go and buy a phone cover and then they come back. Would you be excited the same way? It's different. So I want to believe, and I believe that the love and appreciation locally is genuine, it's the same. It's just that when we travel to these other places, it's not like they see you on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's amazing to see how we love and we've embraced the Zambian artists and now we're growing. So I feel let's kill that stigma that's there. Say, no, this person is not appreciated. That's a lie. Is Roberto appreciated in Zambia? Yes, 100%. Big time, actually. And I appreciate the fact that people appreciate my music. And it's love that I really want to reciprocate.
How do you feel about people who are always comparing you? I saw recently on Twitter when this person was telling you about how you want to always collaborate with your brother, who I personally know that Ozzy has done amazing things for the Zambian music industry, and then they're like, you are busy collaborating with your Finnish brother, and I saw your response. But how does that make you feel? Like there's always people that are always coming at you and always wanting to make you feel like you're better than your brother, or your brother is finished and now you're better than him. You're greater.
I don't think I have ever been better than Ozzy. I don't think I'll ever be better than Ozzy. Ozzy is who he is. Yeah. Let's respect him for that. You know what I mean? It's like trying to compare two people who are doing two separate things. You can't compare Kalusha Bwali and Samuel Matete. They're both great in their own capacity. You know what I mean? The amount of achievements that they have achieved for this country, you cannot compare the two. Each one has got something that they pride in. You know what I mean? And I don't think even just putting me and Ozzy together and say, let's make a comparison is even fair, because this is someone who I personally look up to date. So to try and compare me and him, I feel like that's a very unfair balance. And of course, people always talk. Yeah. People always talk. If you ask some of these guys to say, what are some of the collaborations that I've had just the past 2 years, you notice I've worked with different artists, and people be like, no, you're always working with your brother, but he's my brother.
Yeah. At the end of the day, right?
He's my brother. We run a record label together. There are songs that I feel, okay, he'll be great on this song. And there's certain songs that he has that he feels I'll be great on. So why should we desist from working together because someone somewhere feels, oh no, you shouldn't work with your brother? No. I choose to work with who I want to work with. And I feel like each collaboration is unique and special in its own way. There's Kwasa that I did with Ray D. How many other artists have done a song with Ray D? Countless number of people. Is he finished? No. I've done a song with who? Man, how many songs have I done with Manas? Countless songs.
I don't know so many.
Yeah, and by the way, do you know that other than General Ozzy, the only other artist who I have collaborated with on several occasions is Slab D.
Really?
Yes, Slab D has been basically on almost each and every one of my albums.
Really? Oh, wow.
Check your history.
I'll have to check it, yeah.
I think it's just not been on 1 or 2 albums. On majority of the other albums, Slab D has been. So I've worked with different artists who have featured on several occasions.
Which Zambian artists haven't you worked with that you wish to work with one day?
Ooh, Exile.
Exile. You've never done a song with Exile. You two should, yeah, you need to collaborate.
We actually got into studio one day and we started working on something, then power went.
And then that was it.
And we haven't been, so like every time we call, and it's a situation where I call him and he'll be like, oh, where are you? I'm like, I'm at the studio. It's like, okay, I'm coming. Then he calls back, bruv, just pass somewhere, there's something that's come up. It's always like that. It's like a situation where it's not like we don't want to work together, but then it's like every time we meet to do something, something comes up. But I really want to do something with Exile.
The song should be great then.
I think it will be an amazing song once it happens. I don't know how, but I'm sure God will provide a way for us to work on something. So yeah.
Okay, Roberto. Why most people know you to be very calm, collected. Then there was a time we just saw a video trending of you talking about how you were more like responding to people who were being negative, or you were performing. Which country was that? Kenya? I think last December when you were telling us, oh, I buy underwear every time I'm performing. I buy new songs. Uganda, yeah. Why did you feel the need to record that video and tell people, give us all those details? I think it was too much detail.
No, it wasn't too much detail. It was relevant detail. And you see, the thing is, to date, I feel like a lot of people still miss the message in that video.
Yeah.
They miss the message big time. Like, we are prone to, I feel like we've got this ideology of when someone is saying something sensible, we're just there like thinking, what can we find in this video that we can just talk about? You know what I mean? And the only thing that people want to talk about are socks and underwear.
Yeah, like.
So are you telling me you did not actually pick the sense out of the entire message that was there?
Here's the thing. I know you were trying to tell people to say, look here, when I'm performing, because somebody says, oh, after all, where you're performing.
Actually, you're wrong.
That's how I felt.
But that's what I'm saying. You're wrong.
Many of us probably got it wrong. So
you actually got it wrong.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Prior to my trip to Uganda, a number of people felt I did not deserve a certain type of treatment because I'm from Zambia. You get my point, right? And to our disappointment, the majority of Zambians were like, but why should he be, you know, why?
An escort and everything.
As if you even deserve these things. And I'm like, so what do I deserve? Do you want me to walk to Uganda? If tomorrow you see me and I'm being pushed on a wheelbarrow, is that what's gonna make you happy? Mm-hmm. Does that bring pride to you? Like, does it make you feel like this is, you know, our Zambian artist? Do you want to see me walking to the stadium? Is that what you want? You know what I mean, right? And at times I feel like we try to say so much because it's happening to somebody. And my message in that video was, guys, I think I remember someone was saying, look at the support that Roberto is getting in another country. Why can we not support this person the same way back home? And people say, no, but he's not even the greatest artist. Hey, this, and that. And you know what? I thought to myself, that is where we miss the point. We always feel like there's somebody else who deserves what someone has. You get my point? It's the same principle even in relationships. Someone will see a girl passing and you don't pay attention. The minute you see her walking with a guy, like, yeah, this girl, this and that. And that's the type of personality that we kind of like seem to possess. So my message was, guys, I am experiencing all these things that I'm experiencing because I put in this amount of work and I work in a certain type of way. If you want to see your favorite artist receive and do the same thing, you need to support them. And that was the message. You need to support. Go back and watch that video. I
know you said those things.
And that video was about urging people to support their favorite artist, period. And I said, because of the support that I'm getting and everything that I'm doing, I'm able to get anything that I want.
You can buy new underwear and new socks every time you're traveling.
But I'm compelled to do that. What's wrong with me buying something that I want to buy?
Yeah.
You get my point? It's like you buying new shoes. Who should stop you from buying new shoes? So why should someone come and attack you for buying shoes that you want? If you buy new lipstick every week, should people crucify you for doing that?
Maybe I think what people did expect was the example, the details of underwear and socks.
But it doesn't matter. Like what? Was I supposed to talk about a car?
Maybe.
No.
Clothes.
Look, the point is very simple. And I feel like, that's what I'm saying, like I feel like at times we choose what we want to hear and what we want to say.
And I think that's why I asked the first question to say, do you feel you get the appreciation that you deserve locally?
Of course. We can't even run away from that fact. I wouldn't even be who I am today minus the support that people actually put in, because you cannot be an artist of a certain magnitude without people's support. It's impossible.
Okay, let's take a break and we'll continue chatting after this.
Why should we take a break? Inaweza toka mpa interview.
Why we choke them? Alright, stay tuned. I'm still chatting with Roberto. Welcome back. So I'm still chatting with Mr. Superstar Roberto.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
You like that introduction? Because the first one you...
No. It's all good. It's all good.
Roberto, which one is your favorite social media platform? I'm asking this because I think you're one artist who has learned the art of using social media, but then there's a lot of views, sometimes backlash, is a lot on social media. Which one is your favorite?
I don't know if it is right for me to say all of them, because I feel like each one has got something special. Yeah, you know, there's a certain level of engagement and interaction that you get on the different platforms. If you go to my Facebook page, for example, the amount of engagement and interaction that you get from there is different from Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So I'm one of those people who I don't really like to put out my personal life a lot on these platforms and that sort of thing. So I try to keep it as musical as possible. Everything just related to music and the like. So there's a certain part of my life that I feel is just for me and my family, you know what I mean? So I pretty much use all these platforms for different purposes. And yeah, the engagement is interesting on all of them, yeah.
You were, people were on you for talking about your childhood friend, Damiano.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, talk to me. What's up?
I know, I think one of your nephews, Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
He was able to stand up and defend you and say, Because people were like, you helped a childhood friend and you put it on Facebook, and people were like, but why should you put details there? Why should you tell us that what you've done for your friend and whatnot and whatnot?
Yeah.
Is it something that you regret doing, or you feel, what's wrong with what I did?
Has anyone who ever contributed books to the former high school ever regretted it? Has anyone who's ever bought their parents a car and put it on social media ever regretted it? Has anyone who ever decided to buy their mom a new phone and posted it on social media regretted it?
But people felt like you embarrassed your friend.
No. Why should we be very categorical on what one person should and should not do on social media? Why? Why is it okay for...
Because obviously, for some people, it feels like there are certain things like you've said, there's a certain part of your life that you feel like it's just for you and your family. It's not for the public to know. And I think that's where people are coming from. Say, look, if you are going to help a friend, he should be the one to say, oh, thanks, Roberto, you bought me shoes, you did what and what. It shouldn't come from you. It felt like, oh, I'm showing off. That's what I think. That's the vibe I was getting from the comments. I was reading through the comments.
Yeah, no, but anyways, I understand where you're coming from, and kind of like just pick up from your opinion. However, I feel it is very important for us to be human above all. It's very, very important for us to be human. I saw all kinds of comments like, what the left hand does or what the right hand does, not let the other hand. Like, really? We've got people who are building churches for other people, and they go about even mentioning how much they've done that. And we praise them. Like, oh, they contributed this much. It's the very same thing. It doesn't mean that if you want to be courteous or you want to appreciate somebody, you should not talk about it. And first and foremost, I believe the one person who you first need to consult, if they're okay with it or not, is the person who you're doing it for. And if that person is okay with it because of your type of friendship or relationship that you have, then that's all that matters. So it's a situation where this person were together and we had not seen each other in a while, and he told me about, I've known him for a very, very long time, since I was in grade 5. You know what I mean? Like, we used to walk home together, and it's a situation where he was very appreciative of everything that has happened and everything that we've done for each other. And he was like, it's unfortunate I'm not on Facebook, but I really just want people to know what you're doing for my life and for our other friends. So I'm like, no, it's okay. He's like, no, in fact, let me even post. You get my point, right? And he says, let me post. I'm like, but where are you going to post? Your phone doesn't even have internet.
Yeah.
Internet. He's like, no, I want my friends to know that we're still this close.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that we're still this close. Just tell me what you want me to say and how you want me to phrase it. So it's not something that came out of, oh, let me just, it was nothing to, as perceived to say, oh no, you're trying to embarrass your friend, this and that. No. If anything, I got calls from his mom and saying, I can't believe what I'm being told, what is being said on social media. Like, people don't really know you, and they don't really know the friendship that the two of you have. You know what I mean? So for me, I was at peace. I'm still at peace at it. It's not something that I regret, because helping somebody has never been a crime at all. And it should never be a crime for anybody. If you want to do something for somebody, do it, because that's who you are. So let's not crucify each other because you want to do something and you share it to motivate other people to do the same thing for somebody else. It's not embarrassing if you're going to contribute something towards a development or something that is going to help somebody. You're motivating other people who are going to probably want to do the same thing for other friends. So whether you want to do it publicly or privately, that's up to you. So I believe it's important for us to be human at the end of the day and remember why we are human. Let us not desist from helping each other because you feel, oh, the general public are going to look at you in a certain way. It's important for us to help each other.
Okay, Roberto, moving on from that, this is a COVID period has been tough for many entertainers. We've seen people complain and a lot of things have been disturbed. I know you were supposed to be touring by now. Just tell us how that is going to work now after COVID.
We are waiting for the world to open.
Are you still going to to go on and...
Definitely. Look, the show continues. Everything has to go on. It is unfortunate and fortunate at the same time that we're in this situation. It is unfortunate that we're unable to do so much of what we love to do and what we wanted to do. But it is also fortunate for us because now we have more time to be in studio and recreate or create new material, new content that will help prolong your careers. So it's a bittersweet moment that we basically have to live with. Yeah, at some point things will get back to normal, hopefully. It might not be the way it used to be, but at least at some point we should be able to still be able to go to certain places and perform and do whatever it is that we enjoy doing, and yeah, bring joy to the people that love our music,
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we end the program, I would love to for you to just say some last words to a new artist that's coming up there, because I think there are new artists that we meet and they automatically want to reach your level the moment they enter the studio the first time, they release a song for the first time. But what do you think you put in so much work? What have you done right that has gotten you to where you are?
A lot of hard work. However, it's also important for you to be grounded and look at the mistakes. I'm one of those people who I always want to take a step back and evaluate certain decisions, certain prospects, and some of the things that I've done, right? So, to someone who is a new artist, be in a position where you take criticism, both negative and positive. There are a lot of times when negative criticism will have certain contents that will help you grow and that will help you become a more mature person. And always ensure that you have people that will tell you the honest truth.
Okay, you recently released the song Don't Cry. I think it's a deep song and you're saying it's a true story.
Yes, it is.
You dedicated it to your mom.
Yeah.
Just tell us about that. I think that's very deep.
Well, the story behind it is based on a conversation that I had with my mom, and there was a time when I wasn't feeling too good. So I went to the hospital and yeah, the doctor was like, oh, you only have 2 weeks to live. I was like, wait, no. And he was blatant about like, well, if you don't finish this medication after 2 weeks, we'll be talking a different story. So, I went back home. I remember it was like in the evening, I went back home and I was with my niece, and I know the way my mom is and how she takes certain news because she's got blood pressure. So there's certain things at times we don't really want to tell her, right? But then like my condition was not seeming to favor me at all. So I told her like, oh, I went to the hospital and this is what they told me. And they're like, so she was just like, nah, I'm coming. And the minute you tell your mom something like that, the following morning she finds her way. And so she arrived and she's like, what's wrong? What, blah, blah, blah. And she just started crying. She's like, no, I've lost enough children. I don't want to lose anyone anymore and that sort of thing. And
how many siblings have you lost?
5. Yeah, plus my dad, so that's 6. So it was something that moved me, and at that point I realized that my life is just not precious for me. There are other people who value my presence, you know what I mean? And you cannot outvalue the love that a mother will have for their child. And it really just made me look at life differently, and it really moved me at that point, and I felt, what can I do? In that moment I was thinking, what can I say that would change what is happening? But the unfortunate part about it was that I was still in that condition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I kept going to the hospital for checkups, this and that, and then, yeah, by God's grace, I started improving. So I felt, well, I need to talk about that particular situation and how you can also motivate other people who could be going through certain situations. It might not be life-threatening, but there could be certain people who have lost their friends or they've lost their loved ones, this and that, people who've divorced, but how do you motivate and comfort them? So that's why I thought, okay, let me just work on a song that generalizes just getting to encourage other people. So that's how I decided to work on that song, and
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a touching story. I can imagine how she's feeling losing 5 children and a husband. Yeah. So that's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Roberto, would you want to get back on radio?
I've thought about it actually. I've been thinking about it. radio's been like a part of my life for a majority of my music career.
Yeah.
People think I started with radio, then went to music.
You started with music then?
I started with music then, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but I don't know. Maybe one day, God willing, you never know. You just might hear me back on radio. Okay. But I love it. I miss it though.
All right, Roberto, we've come to the end of the interview. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for clearing the air. People always misunderstand certain things.
He brought us new socks during the interview.
Oh yes.
Okay. All right, this has been your girl Helen. Remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Bye-bye.